Namaste, Angels. This is the daily reading for Tuesday, January 15th, beginning with the year 588 BC, when Nebuchadrezzar, yes, Nebuchadrezzar with a D, not Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadrezzar, the second of Babylon, lays siege to Jerusalem under Zedekiah's reign. The siege lasts until July 23rd, 586 BC, so like 2 years. A year and a half. 1535, Henry VIII declares himself head of the church in England. 1559, Elizabeth I is crowned Queen of England in Westminster Abbey. 1758, the British Museum opens in Montague House, London. 1902, Abdulaziz ibn Saud leads 40 men over the walls of Riyadh and takes the city, marking the beginning of the Third Saudi state. 2001, Wikipedia, a free wiki or content encyclopedia, is launched by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger. Did you know the world's largest office building, the Pentagon, is completed on January 15th in 1943? Famous birthdays: Joan of Arc, Ibn Saud, Edward Teller, Martin Luther King Jr., Charo. I thought his birthday was the 16th. Okay, I was wrong about that, I guess. Charo and Dove Cameron. Would you believe 2 million gallons of molasses flood Boston, Massachusetts in the quote-unquote Great Molasses Flood when a storage tank bursts? It drowns 21 and injures 150. Can you imagine being drowned in molasses? I mean, if you have to be drowned, how about we need water? Not something as thick as molasses. That must have been horrible. Oh my God. Anyway, it happened on January 15th in 1919. 1930, businesswoman Estee Lauder, 23, weds businessman Joseph Lauder. 1953, cricketer Richie Bernard, 22, weds Marcia Lavender at the Wesley Church in Sydney, Australia. 1955, film director Stanley Kubrick, 26, weds theatrical designer Ruth Sabata, 29. 2011, PGA golfer Hunter Mahan, 28, weds former Dallas Cowboys cheerleader Candy Harris in Dallas, Texas. 2013, Gomer Pyle actor Jim Nabors, 82, weds retired performer Stan Caldwelder, 64, at the Fairmont Olympic Hotel in Seattle. Oh, okay, that's sweet. He was 82. He got to have a gay marriage. You know, like before you die, if you've been gay all your life. Imagine being 82. You just now being able to get married to, you know. Wow. Anyway, famous deaths. Elizabeth Short, Meyer Lansky, and Sean McBride. I don't know who Sean McBride is, but I know the other two. He was an Irish politician, apparently, and the chief of staff of the IRA. Okay. Rising from a domestic Irish political career, he founded and participated in many international organizations of the 20th century, including the United Nations, the Council of Europe, and the Amnesty International. McBride received the Nobel Prize in 1974, the Lenin Peace Prize for 1975 through 76, and the UNESCO Silver Medal for service in 1980. He was born on January 26 in 1904 in Paris, France, and was an Aquarius. He died on January 15th in 1988 at the age of 83. Meyer Lansky was a mobster. Let's see what it says. Yes, it says he was a mobster. He was instrumental in the development of the National Crime Syndicate in the United States. He was born on July 4th or 11 in 1902 in Grado, Belarus, and was a cancer. He died on January 15th in 1983 at the age of 80 of lung cancer. Right, he wasn't even shot or anything. Can you imagine? Just dying naturally as a mobster. He did. Unlike Elizabeth Short, she was a murder victim, and that's exactly what it says here. American. She is known as the Black Dahlia. Yep, that's what it's going to say. She was the victim of a grotesque and much publicized murder in 1947, known as the Black Dahlia. She was born on July 29th in 1924 in Boston, Massachusetts, USA, and was a rat on the Chinese zodiac and a Leo on the star signs. She died on January 15th in 1947 at the age of only 22, master number 22, The cause was murder. I don't think they ever found her killer. I think she left a son behind who was trying to have her case solved, but never did. Dove Cameron is 23 years old. Her full name is Chloe Celeste Hosterman, or proper name, and she's an actress, American, best known for playing a dual role as both title characters in the Disney Channel sitcom Liv and Maddie. She also starred in the Disney Channel original movie Cloud 9 as Kyla Morgan. She was born on January 15th in 1996 in Seattle, Washington, United States, and is 23 years old, a pig on the Chinese zodiac, and a Capricorn. Charo, 68 years old. Her full name is Maria del Rosario Mercedes Pilar Martinez Molina Baiza, and she is an actress, or was an actress. She's American and Spanish, both, and a comedian, a flamenco guitarist, best known for her flamboyant stage presence, her provocative outfits, and her trademark phrase, coochie coochie. She was born on January 15th in 1951 in Murcia, Spain, and is 68 years old, a tiger on the Chinese zodiac and a Capricorn. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights activist, American. He's famous because he was the most visible and well-known leader of the civil rights movement. He was a Baptist minister who helped advance civil rights through nonviolent methods based on Christian beliefs. He founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and helped to lead the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott early in his career. After the unsuccessful Albany movement to end segregation in Albany, Georgia, he organized the March on Washington, D.C. in 1963, where he delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech. Though he alienated many of his liberal allies by calling for opposition to the Vietnam War, he remained highly popular. In 1964, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in the midst of planning the Poor People's Campaign in Washington, D.C. He was assassinated by James Earl Ray in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4th in 1968. His death sparked massive nationwide riots. In 1986, Martin Luther King Day was inaugurated as a federal holiday. He was born on January 15th in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, and USA, and was a dragon on the Chinese zodiac and a Capricorn. He died on April 4th, 4/4, in 1968, and he was 39 at the time only. The cause was assassination. Edward Teller was a physicist. He was American and Hungarian, and he's famous for the John Teller effect, father of the H-bomb or hydrogen bomb. He was born on January 15th in 1908 or 99 in Budapest, Austria-Hungary, which is now just Hungary, and was a Capricorn. He died on September 9th, another 99, in the year 2003 of natural causes. Ibn Saud, whose full name is about 10 names long. I'm not even going to go into it. But he is the founder of Saudi Arabia. Or was. And the first king of Saudi Arabia from 1932 through 53. He founded the House of Saud, the third Saudi state. Ibn Saud reconquered his family's ancestral home in the city of Riyadh in 1902, starting 3 decades of conquest that made him the ruler of nearly all of Central Arabia. He consolidated his control over the Najd in 1922, then conquered the Hejaz in 1925. He extended his dominions into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 1932. As king, he presided over the discovery of petroleum in Saudi Arabia in 1938 and the beginning of large-scale oil production after World War II. He notably fathered many children, including 45 sons, and all of the subsequent kings of Saudi Arabia. He was born on January 15th in 1875 in Riyadh, Emirate of Najd, and was a Capricorn. He died on November 9th, 11/9, which is 11, in 1953, which is also 9, at the age of 78 of a heart attack. And lastly, Joan of Arc was a French soldier and a national heroine. Nicknamed the Maid of Orleans, Joan of Arc was born in around 1410, into a peasant family, and into a France beset by internal conflicts and under attack from the English. At the age of 12, she claimed to have had her first vision of saints and angels, eventually exhorting her to aid France in driving out the English. 12 is, does seem to be a special age for this. 3, 6, 12, I guess 9 too, which all, that makes sense. 19, 17. I'm just going by some things, people that I know, some experiences that I had myself, what I know about Mary, what I know about Jesus, what I know about Joan, all had like these experiences, these like, I guess I'll call them crucial ages. Like, for example, Jesus was 12 when they found him basically telling the elders that their teachings were wrong, and that they needed to stop with the foolishness and get rid of, like the Old Testament and the old belief systems and start to teach the new covenant. He did that at 12 and he got in trouble. His mother found him there and he was in trouble. Mary also grew up basically with nuns, like in a convent type of place, and finally like returned home at 12. She had been dropped off there when she was like 3. I myself almost became a nun at 12, and continued to want and to plan to be a nun, even though I hadn't moved into a convent yet, until I was like 16. By then I had a boyfriend, and so it slowly began, the idea slowly began to like fade away. But up until then, at 12, I was Catholic, so I had a confirmation. Confirmation is when you decide for yourself, you actually want to be Catholic. It's like kind of like bat mitzvah or bar mitzvah for Jewish boys and girls, where they decide for themselves after being raised Jewish. Yes, we want to do it. Or Rumspringa for Amish kids, but even though that's a little bit older, though they do that around 16, but it's like the same concept. So I had decided, and most people bring back their godmother from baptism for confirmation. You don't have to though, but you do have to select a godmother for confirmation. People usually select the same one. I picked a nun, Sister Trinita. She must have been about 100. Oh goodness. Yeah, I picked a nun to be my godmother because I wanted to be a nun myself. So that's my story, and I gave you Jesus' story and Mary's story. This is Joan of Arc's story. At the age of 12, she claimed to have had her first vision of saints and angels, and she was eventually exhorting her to aid France in driving out the English. So it was the angels that told her to, that she had to become a soldier and go to war. The same way they told me to start doing readings on March 10th, 2016, and I was like, huh? What are you talking about? Anyway, arriving with the French army, she successfully led attacks that broke the siege of Orleans in 1430 or 44, dressed in a suit of armor. She later helped to lead the army to Reims, where King Charles VII was crowned. Joan of Arc was captured during an engagement at Compiègne, and she was put on trial by the English supporter, the French bishop Pierre Cauchon. The trial began in January of 1431. Joan of Arc withstood days of interrogation before being found guilty of the charge of dressing in men's clothing. Isn't this stupid? Okay. She agreed to don women's clothing, but when she wore men's clothing again in order to avoid rape, she was condemned for heresy and burned at the stake on May 30th. A retrial 25 years later found her innocent, and she was canonized by the Catholic Church in 1920. She was born on January 15th in 1412 in Domremy, Duchy of Bar, France, and was a Capricorn. She died on May 30th in 1431 at the age of 19. Told you 19 was a special age too. She was executed and burned at the stake. That was the cause of death. Sick fucks. Anyway, she was the last one. The names repeat too. Of course, Joan is John, right? Same thing. I'm beginning with buy shoes, email, and dirty movie. Spirit says cocktail. It's 50-50. And stay in bed. Going to the cards, I'm beginning with the 9 of fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. And speaking of nines, didn't we see double nines a lot in the history today too? I'm beginning with a 9 and opening to a 9. The 9 of air, not my favorite. Expecting the worst. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights. 9 of fire. And the 7 of earth. Seeds well planted. A temporary pause in action. Unnecessary worry. It means like you've already done what you needed to in order to get you to where you want to go. So why would you panic now? And opening to major arcana card 2, the high priestess, who does not need to panic at all because she's got so much information available to her. Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. High priestess is a Gemini. Maybe that's where all those all that air was coming from, the 9 of air. She also can be a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, in that order for me. 9 of fire. And speaking of Scorpio, it's life experience or the tower, which does have the energy of Scorpio and death for me as well. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. 9 of fire and the Queen of air. Independent, experience, realistic and witty. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. Queen of air is, of course, a Gemini, Libra, right? Gemini, like the high priestess, right? A Libra, an Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Okay. Cards doing their own thing because they wanted this to be last. What was that other one that was showing, though? Well, speaking of Aquarius, the star is here behind the 3 of air. And I think it was the King of air they were also trying to show us. The King of air, who's also a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. But like I said, on top of that is the star. Major arcana card 17, which equals 8, could have something to do with your karma. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. The star represents the sign of Aquarius. That could be from where all this air is coming from. And the planet Uranus, which is currently located in Taurus, which is where the moon is on this day, the 15th, in Taurus. And the overall energy is the 3 of air. Oh, not the overall energy, but for now, the 3 of air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. I think this is speaking to a past event and the need for you to let it go so that you can make long-term plans and look to the future. And maybe communicate also. Maybe talk to somebody with whom you had some sort of difficulty, or you shared some sort of loss, or damage to a friendship or something. Communicate is what the King of air is about, right? Speak your mind with confidence. Overall energy is the wheel. Major arcana card number 10. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The wheel represents the planet Jupiter, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius, but also the fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. So we've already seen evidence of Scorpio, Aquarius, and Taurus. Here's some more. Crowning the masculine, it is major arcana card, the Magician, number 1. So our overall energy is a 1. Since it's a 10, it's a 1. And crowning the masculine is also another 1. Both major arcana, making them stronger energies, karmic energies. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. And life is magical. The Magician represents the sign of Gemini. He is surrounded by the Knight of Water, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, the need to balance emotions, maybe an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And he is somebody who makes proposals and maybe who has manifested love or very good friendship or something into his life. Masculine subconscious. The 3 of Earth, like he's due this. He's due abundance. He's earned it. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. This can also have something to do with some sort of party of 3, maybe a group or friendship or something at work, or even a romantic relationship that perhaps started at work, love triangle. Crowning the feminine. The Ace of Air, brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation and maybe a challenging beginning. Mirroring the masculine's Magician could have something to do with a Gemini or other air sign, but doesn't have to. More importantly, the Ace of Air is about a new beginning, but one, that wasn't so easy to get to. But you definitely earned the new beginning, right? It was how they say, like rough waters and stuff, getting there, and there still may be a bumpy road ahead. All's not necessarily perfect, but you are getting to start over somehow. Surrounding the feminine. The 10 of Earth, very nice. A very happy family life. Financial security and finding magic in the little things in life. So as it relates to finances, let's say, for example, you could have, had some bumps in the road as it relates to finances and, maybe not been as liquid as you always wanted to be, different times, but now things are good. You could have possibly just come into a lump sum of money, maybe brought on by the wheel, right? A sudden positive change in the area of abundance. Feminine subconscious, major arcana card, the Dreamer. A leap of faith, follow your dreams that leads to unexpected opportunities. The Dreamer is the Fool in the traditional tarot, and all about walking a brand new path. Right, maybe a brand new path where you're not broke. That could be. Crowning. The King of Air is also back. Brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. The King of Air, again, is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Here's a Gemini here too, mirroring the Magician, the Dreamer. At the root, foundation, like what got us here perhaps, is the Star. Prayers, intentions, dreams, manifestation got us here. Happy times, make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. And again, for the feminine, that's a brand new one. Like we just closed a chapter. The Taurus moon, at least for me, I guess as a Gemini, is in my house of endings. So like something completes, and then today, beginning on the 14th, right? The 14th and 15th, things end. Something ends, some door closes, chapter, is complete. Maybe karmic lesson is complete. And then a new something starts. That could be connected to the wheel too, because I said like the Jupiter and the wheel is connected to Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Leo. At the heart of the matter, oh boy, that 3 of Air, also about great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. So like this is from what we're starting again. And maybe that's why, for at least for the feminine, it's the Ace of Air, because it is a new start, but it's off of, you know, a time that wasn't so easy. Maybe even death, right? So we could be getting a new start because there's some sort of inheritance. Right? We could have had that kind of loss, and there's some sort of inheritance here with the Ten of Earth. You know, an asset, or again, large lump sum of money that somebody left us with their passing. Maybe an air sign, maybe more specifically an Aquarius. Somebody also could have maybe lost a job they loved, or a job they loved ended, and they're getting a new path. They're getting something new. There's, you know, still going to be lucrative. This could be representative of a boss or something. Maybe this is connected to what's going on in the United States again. As I've mentioned in the past, our so-called president is a Gemini as well. So there's been loss of work, loss of money for people. People are due money, bonuses, raises, paychecks, period. Not knowing exactly how they're going to continue to move forward. Further clarifying the Three of Air in the Heart of the Matter. The Five of Water, some sort of loss, things not turning out the way you'd hoped. Not seeing the positive in the situation and crying over spilled milk. Like everything's not... There's been some sort of loss, but everything is not lost, if you understand what I'm saying. The next card is the Six of Water. Memories from your history of childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. So this is something, could be something nostalgic again. A job that you loved that's ending, or that's closed. You've been furloughed, you've been whatever. They can't afford to keep you. For some, there's some sort of relationship again, like perhaps it started at work and it's being revisited, but it had maybe ended because there was some sort of pain, hurt, and now like communication is needed. The masculine like pulling this soulmate back in, and they're going to have to talk. Maybe an earth sign. Could be air and earth coming together. Queen of Fire, about pursuing your passion. So you're like going after it, even though there was something that stopped you in the past, some sort of hurt, loss. Queen of Fire is confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. And the Lovers. And this is the last upright card. You know, they wanted me to keep pulling them. Major Arcana card 6. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. So this could have something to do with love. Again, relationships. But it doesn't have to for everybody. For others, it could have something to do with work or a general situation. But very likely a decision that you'll have to make, or that you've made, where your heart didn't necessarily agree with your head. And so you had to choose between them. I won't say that the choice either way was bad, though. You know, was poor. I think either way, you have an opportunity to start something new and or move forward. For the masculine, the choice may pull at your, you know, emotions and heartstrings a little more so than the feminines. The feminines, again, may involve more tangible loss. Whether it is, you know, past loss, not now, whether it is of an actual person in their, you know, loved one in their life that left them something, or if it was, you know, a job or money or something that they were due that they never got, some sort of bonus or raise or something, check that was supposed to come that never came. And it's like in the works now. If it doesn't show up now, it's like in the works now, like it's finally coming. Further advice to the masculine, Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit. I said this would pull out your emotional heartstrings more. Maybe you need to go within to figure out what your final decision is. The Hermit represents the sign of Virgo. I also mentioned perhaps combinations of air and earth signs. Virgo could be easily one of them. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. This is about enlightenment, and it looks like you need some about your situation. So you need to spend some time, meditation, maybe like getting a massage, something that relaxes you, where thoughts may be able to, clear thoughts may be able to come into your mind, like meditation, acupuncture, maybe binaural tones while sleeping, things of that, like that. For the feminine, the Six of Earth. Yeah, some sort of abundance coming in, very possibly money, actual money or material. But some sort of abundance. Could be love for some of us too. Gifts of money, time, or effort, right? Somebody, that's what I'm saying. It could be love for some of us too. Somebody could be finally putting in the work, and earning our attention, earning our respect, whatever it is. Earning an opportunity to talk to us, whereas maybe they blew it before their last opportunity. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, and receiving a loan, like some sort of money here, or paying off debts. Yeah, I definitely feel for the feminine. It's probably, more so having to do with actual money or credit or, opportunity in that area. Maybe somebody forgives something that you owed. Like it goes away somehow. And you just, that enables you to sort of start fresh without having to worry about whatever that was. But again, there had been a loss of something prior. All right. I don't want to pull any more and, be any more greedy than I already have. I hope that, this is enough clarity for you guys and that you enjoy the reading and your day. Have a good one. Namaste.